Hello and welcome to Bristol Street Motors. Today I'm going to give you a full guided tour of the new Cupra Formentor. Starting here at the front of the new Cupra Formentor, let's start with the badge and the grille. So this is obviously the contrasting copper finish, which offsets really nicely against the metallic black and the grey surrounding on the grille. As you'll see as well, around the grille, all the lines lead straight to the centre. Really nice, gives it a very aggressive touch. Now continuing round, you'll notice we've got full LED daytime running lights, as well as full LED headlights as well. And Formentors as standard also get full LED fog lights as well as the turning lights also. Now you will notice down here on the front, that black box there is the radar unit for the predictive adaptive cruise control. And also continuing round, you notice the grey accents here, which help give the car a very aggressive front end. So moving on to the wheels now. As standard, Formentors get 18-inch alloy wheels. This car is actually fitted with the optional 19-inch alloy wheels and the 5-spoke design with the silver machined face. You'll also notice they have the Cupra Performance brakes, and these are standard across the entire range. Now, continuing down the side of the Cupra Formentor, you'll notice that this car has some grey contrasting elements along the wheel arches, down the side sills, and continuing around the back. This theme is also continued on obviously the wing mirrors, where the LED turn signals are built in as well. And this car as standard also comes with rear tinted windows, which helps add a sporty element to the vehicle. So here at the back of the Formentor, there's quite a few unique styling features. Starting off with the really big rear spoiler, and obviously working our way down, it has our new coast-to-coast rear tail light with sequential indicators built in. And again, you'll see the copper theme continues on this car. Cupra logo in the back here, the copper badge with the carbon fibre surround, as well as the black Cupra lettering. Now moving further down, like I mentioned earlier, there's a grey contrast that really helps break up the back of the vehicle. But my personal favourite feature, exclusive for the hybrid vehicles, is actually the simulated copper exhaust pipes, which are exclusive on all plug-in hybrid models, which go in very nicely with this black rear diffuser. So there are 3 different ways to open the boot on the new Cupra Formentor. The first of which is the button underneath the P. Now the second is actually the button on the key fob, but my personal favourite is to simply kick your foot under the rear bumper and the boot will open like so. So the boot capacity here on the plug-in hybrid Formentor is 345 litres. However, if you need more space, you do have the ability to fold down the rear seats by pulling this lever here. Some other nice features inside, obviously you have the ski hatch, which is most commonly used in the UK for trips to IKEA. You also have some nice tie-down points in there as well. So as I mentioned earlier, this Cupra Formentor is actually a plug-in hybrid. That's a really nice, easy charging system. As long as the car's unlocked, you can pop open the door. Now that adds some really great benefits to yourself. But one of being, you can actually charge it from a 3-pin plug socket to full in just 6 hours. Also, it adds a performance boost of up to 100 horsepower. You can also get a combined fuel economy of 188 miles per gallon, or an all-electric range of up to 35 miles, which is more than most people's daily commute. So the Cupra Formentor is fitted with keyless entry. Sitting here on the inside of the Formentor, the first thing you notice is what an occasion it is. You're surrounded by your black Napa leather steering wheel, which is continued on the dashboard and on these really lovely bucket seats as well. You've also got copper elements all throughout the cabin, whether it's the copper stitching on the dashboard, surrounding on the air vents, or on the steering wheel, where you've also got your engine start button and your Cupra drive mode selector as well. And once you've got over all those features, you've then got your 12-inch central infotainment unit, which really does dominate the cabin, and it controls all your major functionalities of the vehicle. So as you'll see here, you have all your shortcut icons along the bottom of the screen. Now on here you can see all your major information. So starting off with satellite navigation. So when you pull up the satellite navigation screen, you can obviously enter any destination that you need to, and it will also transfer it to your digital cockpit, where I pull the map up, and you can have it on your screen in front of you while you're driving, or on the big screen in the middle as well, depending on what you prefer. Now coming back to the home screen, right now obviously the music's on mute, but you do have media control, whether it's for Bluetooth, audio, or your radio, and you can actually control the volume in a few different ways. The first of which is the scroll wheel on the steering wheel, or on the touch slider here on the central screen. Now moving down from the screen, you've obviously got your air vent controls here, and where you traditionally normally expect to find your climate controls, you've actually got nothing there, and that's because they're all built into the central screen. Now, like we mentioned, there is no physical air control buttons, but there is a menu, and this will bring up all the controls for the climate inside the vehicle. Simply turn the system on, and you can choose where you would like the air to come out of, the fan speed, and you can also adjust the temperature either by selecting the numbers on the top or by running your finger along the sliders on the bottom of the touch screen, like so. You have two USB Type-C ports, and as well, this car does have wireless charging, but other unique feature it also has is actually wireless Apple CarPlay. It also has wireless Android Auto, which is a new feature for the Cupras. To activate it, simply select Apple CarPlay, and then find the vehicle name on your phone and pair to it. And what should happen then is it will wirelessly connect and allow me to use Apple CarPlay without having to plug my phone in, which means I can take advantage of the wireless charging pad also. There we go. So right now, my phone is charging on the wireless pad, and it's also connected to the vehicle, so I can use my Spotify and music, and also my maps as well. So this system is also very intuitive in the fact that you can change the settings to suit what you use most. So like any smartphone, you can hold down on a certain app and you can change it to suit what you need, whether it might be vehicle settings or maybe the e-power monitor. But it's not also the shortcuts, you can actually do it with the main home screen as well. So if, for example, air conditioning is a priority to you, you can have that menu front and center at all times, which is a really nice feature to have. It means the car can suit your needs and your usage. Coming on to vehicle settings now, there's a lot of options and a lot of customizability within this system. One of the personal favorites is obviously the background lighting. Now, as you can see right now, it's been set on this really lovely vibrant blue color, and it goes all the way around the inside of the cabin. Now, it does also serve a functional purpose. In fact, that the blind spot assist is actually built into the side light, and that will flash amber if there is a car approaching in your blind spot. Some other features as well, with this being the hybrid, you can also see the state of charge that's currently in the battery, and also choose how you're driving. So right now, the car has been set up so that it drives in electric mode only, but if I wanted to drive in hybrid mode, I clearly select that, and it will also then use the petrol engine as well as the electric motor to get the most efficient use out of the fuel I have on board. Now coming back, you'll notice here is actually where the traction control off button is. Now that's on the VZ1 and above trim levels. The V1 and V2, that's actually where you'll find the start stop button. Next, you'll see here, this car obviously has a 6-speed dual clutch gearbox with its new shift by wire. So no longer do you have a clunky selector, it's a nice simple toggle switch that you just flick forward and backwards. You also have your hill hold assist button, your electronic parking brake, and also your central locking. You've got two massive cup holders in here, as well as some really nice storage space under the adjustable armrest. So starting here on the steering wheel, obviously you have your two satellite buttons here. The one on the right is your engine start stop button, and the one on the left is the Cupra drive select button. Moving above that, you have your controls for your predictive adaptive cruise control, where you can adjust the distance between you and the car in front, as well as your speeds. And you'll also notice there is actually a volume rocker here, where you can increase and decrease the volume of your media system. Moving back over to the right, you have all the controls for your central 10-inch digital cockpit display. So if I was to click View now, you'll notice it will cycle through the different views that are available to you. And these two buttons either side actually control the widgets on each side. And you can have whichever information it is that you would like to have on. Makes it a very flexible, very usable system, and means you can adjust it to have the information that suits you best. Lots of feel from the steering wheel. The throttle is lovely and smooth, and we're in full electric mode right now, so it's cruising along really nicely. Lovely feeling from the steering, lots of great feedback, especially for an electro-hydraulic system. Seating position is really good and visibility is great. Some nice big mirrors really does help on these tight, twisty roads. Okay, so right now the engine's kicked in, so it's helping boost the battery power, and that's when you get the full 245 horsepower coming out of this vehicle, and it is brilliant. But it's still lovely and quiet. Now in Cupra mode, you do get an augmented sound inside the cabin, which helps add to that sporty feeling. But if I want to just back it off and put it in road mode, the steering wheel gets light again, the suspension softens up, and it's a really comfortable vehicle, especially on these not particularly brilliant roads. It really does make a massive difference that we've got this. Now the Formentor's got a really interesting steering rack because it's actually only one turn each side lock to lock. Well, two turns actually. And what that means is it doesn't involve a lot of steering input to go around these rather tight corners. And it definitely adds to a more sports car feel. The steering wheel itself though is really nice, so you get a really good driving position because of it. Really nice, easy to get comfortable. We'll put it back in sport mode. And then you hear the electric motor working with the petrol engine. And it just effortlessly gets up to 30 miles an hour. And it will sit there. The regenerative braking as well is also a really nice feature. When I'm braking, it's charging up the batteries, which means I don't really have to apply the brake too much. It does it all for me. Makes it a really easy car to drive. Now coming up to some of these junctions, putting it into reverse and the rear camera kicks on. Got a really great view because of this massive screen, what's behind me. So here in the back of the Formentor, now I've left the driver's seat in my driving position and I'm 6'2", and as you can see I still have plenty of knee room and a lot of headroom. Now some other nice features in the back of the cabin as well. You'll notice you've got two USB Type-C ports as well as its own individual climate control zone. You also have ISOFIX points on both rear seats and as well as cup holders in the centre armrest as well. So if you have any more questions on the new Cupra Formentor, please feel free to visit bristolstreetmotors.co.uk.